Hello, and welcome to the Worm Show. I'm your host, Thorn Jules, and today we have a very special guest. We have our friend and neighbor, Billy. Hi, Billy. Say hello. Isn't he lovely? Yes, he is. He's staying with us this weekend. We've been having a lovely time hanging out. Yes, but duty calls, and here we are. I think Billy's going to want to come and see what we're up to. That's okay. Especially what we're up to with the food, yes. It's time to feed these little beasties. And I'm very curious to see what's going on underneath. Especially in the bottom section. I'm not sure. I have actually not opened this in the last few days. I've just sort of like had all kinds of other stuff going on, and I figured, well, they're okay, let them do their thing. So I'm really curious to open this up and see how they're doing. You'll notice that we are inside today. This is actually, I'm filming this on the Thanksgiving weekend, Canadian Thanksgiving weekend. And it's a little bit chilly. I mean, it's a bit too cold these days now to be outside and filming these. Yeah, here we are inside. We'll see what the filming schedule does in the future in terms of weather. But I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Anyhow, let's get on with the show, shall we? Let's open this up and see what the latest is. I realize that I'm going to be doing this on top of one of my rugs and on my living room, in my living room. But whatever, who cares? All right. I mean, these worms live with me, so if I bring them into the living room, that's okay. I don't know if you can see here, but there's a bunch of eggs and stuff that's been laid on the blanket, so they're definitely not just the worms, but the other creatures in here seemed very happy. This whole thing is teeming, which is very, very cool. Let me bring this down a little bit. I'm still really getting used to the whole scenario with making these videos. So I hope that I'm not giving anyone seasickness or vertigo or anything like that as you watch them. There's a ton of eggs of some sort here. That's really impressive. That concentration is just like wild to me, how much there is right here. So that's very, very inspiring. There's a lot of worm castings here, and there's a little wormy here, kind of crawling around the bedding. So that's very, very exciting. There's a lot going on here. That's very exciting. So I think that looks very good. And what I've decided I'm going to do, I haven't thought this through, I'm just going to do it. We'll lift this up. And before they all disappear, I'm going to see if I can show you. Can you see that? On the underside there, there's a bunch of them. Oh, and they're just finally disappearing. So they are making it through. There's definitely movement between the two sides, which is very good, although I will definitely lift this up more. I'll move this up more, mound it up. But yeah, that is looking very, very well. I mean, it's looking kind of gross actually, but but it's looking good, I would say, on the whole. I think that seems positive. And I can see that there's still some food bits in there. There's some bedding in there, so they're still working their way. They're obviously still chewing. With I'm gonna make myself a mess here. Okay, so I'm curious what happens if I see them. I move a little bit and I see a worm, and then I move a little bit and then I see another worm. Like there's just so much going on here. So I think rather than messing up this part, maybe I'll just do what I've done before, and I'll just take some of this surface and I'll just move it up to the top. Oh, some of these are really angry with me. Sorry. I see that a bunch of them have they seem to have those swollen abdomen scenarios, which I'm pretty sure, indicates that they're having babies, right? That's got to be the case. Isn't that the case? I don't know. I hope this is coming through in the filming. It's hard to tell. Leave a comment, please, if you think this stinks. I can take it. It actually doesn't smell at all, of course. It doesn't have much of a smell or aroma. I think if I got close to it, I would say that it would have like what you call a hummus smell, like an earthy smell. Like I can kind of like, yeah, like the forest undergrowth kind of scenario. Now I can see here, if I dig into this bottom bit there, I can see, okay, yeah, there's still some bedding there. There's still some bedding there, and there's still, I don't know if there's a bunch of food there, but there's definitely bedding. I can see that they haven't eaten all the bedding yet. They've eaten a lot of it, but there's still some underneath, and if I dig down any further, then I'm sure that I will keep finding that they're still working on their bedding and still chewing away and all that kind of stuff. So okay, so I think I've kind of like mounded up this enough. I think that this I think hopefully this will serve. I think so. I think it'll come down pretty nicely once I there. Oh, yeah, I can feel it already. Okay, it's settling. Okay. All right, now I'm feeling very confident. How does it look? Okay, it looks okay. Sorry. I'm feeling pretty confident now that dirt bridge, for lack of a better term, is going to be good there. And so like that whole middle section there be nicely connected. I want to make sure that there's easy access. Ooh, look, there's more eggs. More eggs. I'm going to move this whole thing down very carefully, very gently, if I may, for now. And then there's a whole bunch of eggs here. There's just a lot going on here. I think that's great. Great. Now, I fed here last week, and I think probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to feed here, because there's like, I think I could probably put a whole bunch of food down here. There's definitely space for it. And I have quite a bit of food. This week I've made up, so this is like some of my, the food that I've made for them previously, and then I've just added a whole bunch of stuff. Like I had a whole bunch of eggshells that I've just ground up in a mortar and pestle. And a bunch of like rye bread that I had going out, so I just cut it up into small pieces. So there's a whole lot going on here, and then what I'm basically gonna do is like move all of this stuff over. There's a ton of worms here. I can see there's a whole bunch of them that I am very much disturbing. Sorry wormies. Not as many over here, but there's definitely like there's a whole bunch of worms here. Yeah, and that's the bottom. Okay, so I'm feeling the bottom there. Oh, sorry, worms. Okay. Now, this stuff is not as wet as the last batches. I'm not going to sort of flop it in. Kind of shake it in. I've really had to figure out how to not fill my freezer with this stuff. Because I think I've said before, I cook a lot for myself, so I produce a lot of my own scraps that are like way too much, that worms are not eating enough. And I think even once I'm full bore, once this thing is going full bore, I don't know, would I still need? Curious if anyone knows, and if anyone has any experience, would you say that you've gotten to a point where you needed to have extra? Go to your neighbor's place, or, to be like, hey, I need some. I mean, I can't imagine that, because right now, half of my freezer is worm food, frozen worm food, that I've pureed ahead of some future feeding. I don't know. They're very well stocked. I'm stocked with worm food. If anyone else needs some, worm food, if you're just starting out, if you're in the Ottawa area, I will give you worm food. So when I first started this, I was doing it in like quadrants. I was, feeding, 1 week here, the next week here, like this. And now it's kind of become a bit of a mishmash, but oh well, right? Okay. So I want to push this back here. I want to push all of this back because I want to put in some food here, and I want to go all the way. If I want to push this stuff over, I've decided I'm not going to mess with this. What's going on here? I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it. But I wanted to feed all this corner up here, or this portion up here. I'm going to just drop this in. I feel like, am I getting any better at this? I don't know. The worms are. The worms seem happy. Okay, so we will feed this little trench here, and then maybe what I'll do is I might, I was gonna say I might put some here, but maybe that's taking it too much. Maybe that's like, overkill. So if I feed the rest of this stuff down here, and then I'm just gonna push this back a little bit, and then feed a bit more. I feel like I'm farming. I've got farming feelings. And then maybe I will. Oh, there's a whole bunch of them in there. I feel like I'm chasing them to give them food. It's like, yeah, there you are. No, don't go away. Here's some food. I come bringing food. Okay. Well, let's say that is that for now. We're almost at the end of this, and I think this is like one of the most amounts of food that I've given them thus far, but I think that they've really come along, so it feels like I should be feeding them. Now, if I was going to test to see how much they'd eaten recently, then I think I would turn this up, move it all around, and I would move that around. But I think I'm just going to let these guys chill. I don't see why I should fuss with them at the moment. I think I should just let them be. I think I should, whatever's going on in here, underneath there, I think I should just leave it. For now, my gut says just leave it. And maybe we'll dig it up next week. We'll see. I used to look at this thing quite a bit. Like I would almost every day I would open it up and have a look and give it some water and fuss over it and stuff, but I haven't done that as much nowadays. Because I think that things are good. I think and even I think for now I'm going to leave it. I may even leave it unsprayed. Just because I sense that this is enough moisture for now. I think probably what I'll do is I'll open it up again in a couple of days, and I'll open it up and spray it. But for now, I think it's better if I just leave it. So I'm gonna move this over here. I think this also is a helpful reminder. This piece of cloth, which came when I picked up the worms from Candro. That it's a helpful reminder of where I've fed. I think that also kind of has a good contribution. So it feels weird not to give this all the spritz sprots, but I think it's got enough moisture. I don't want to, I don't want to swamp it. I'll just put this on, and that also gives me an excuse to check on it in a couple of days. Okay, cool. Coolio. Oh, get my toe out of there. You don't need to see my toe. All right. Awesome. So we will see how these guys go in the next, these folks go in the next, folks, guys, whatever. Go in the next little while. Here's the guy I love. There he is. Hi. Oh, what a sweet boy. Right. Well, with Billy and I, and the worms. Happy Thanksgiving to y'all. By the time this comes out, it'll be way after Thanksgiving. Who cares, right? If you've liked this, give it a thumbs up. If I've earned your subscription, please subscribe. Leave a comment if you have some advice. And if you really hate my camera work, let me know in the comments. And we'll see you in the next video. Peace.